this is Melody, your East Tennessee real estate resource. And I just came back from a real estate conference, got to meet a lot of fabulous real estate agents all across the country and world. But on my way to the conference and on my way back, of course, I make small talk. That's what I'm really good at. I'm good at talking to people. And it was interesting. One of the first questions they ask me is, "Where are you from?" And so I tell them, "Okay, well, I currently live in Knoxville. I'm from a small town called Athens. My brokerage is in Sweetwater." And it never fails. They will reply back, well, I've been to Nashville." Man, even some of you that have called me before, and I'll say, "Have you ever been to East Tennessee?" A lot of times you will tell me, "Well, I've been to Nashville." Well, that's wonderful. I am so glad you got to visit Nashville. It's a great place. However, it is a completely different vibe here in East Tennessee, specifically the Knoxville area. So, I want to take just a few moments to tell you that East Tennessee has some big advantages over Nashville. Affordability, scenery, pace of life. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about it. So, again, Tennessee, big state, very wide, broken up into three different regions. I'm in East Tennessee, which is pretty much anything. I would say Crossville kind of starts the middle Tennessee region. So anything east of Crossville is what I consider East Tennessee. And it is just not only, again, the scenery. If you know anything about Nashville, it's located close to the Cumberland Plateau, but for the most part, it is flat. Whereas in East Tennessee, we have rolling hills, we have mountains, we've got steep driveways, we've got curves galore. So even just going to the Walmart sometimes, you're going through some curves, up some hills, down some hills, and all the things because it's just a different landscape here versus Middle Tennessee, where Nashville is. I mean, Nashville's a great city. I'm not knocking it. I'm just telling you how it's different from East Tennessee. In Nashville, it's fast paced. There's a lot more bustling, a lot more music opportunities. It's just more urban. East Tennessee, a little bit more laid back. Even in Knoxville, where I live, one of the most shocking things to people is they'll say, "I don't want to live in Knoxville. It's too city for me." Sweet friends, there are areas that are part of the Knoxville, has the Knoxville in their address, that's farmland, beautiful farmland with acres. So just know that Knoxville is more than just the urban. The urban part is the downtown, but there are other places in Knox County that have beautiful, beautiful land. I personally live in the county. I don't live in the city. I don't pay city taxes, but yet I'm on a half acre and I have one of the rarest yards in my neighborhood because it's flat. Almost everybody else has a dip of some kind in their backyard. That's just one of the differences. Knoxville, East Tennessee area, more small town charm. It's got just enough metro. So if you want to go downtown, and there's some great events downtown, World's Fair Park is beautiful. You can go up to the Sun Sphere. The Women's Basketball Hall of Fame is downtown. There's lots of little shops and quaint areas, a lot of history down there. But then again, if you want to go visit that and then come home to your more home that's more suburban or little bit more rural, you kind of get the best of both worlds. So if you prefer mountain views, I would consider a little bit front porch living and a slower pace, but still near a city nearby. Definitely East Tennessee would be the choice for that. Now, what about the cost of living and maybe even the lifestyle? Well, in Nashville, It's booming. It's just absolutely booming. I talked to several agents at my conference who work in the Nashville area, and they were just like, "Oh man," they're talking about condos and high rises, and they're just like, it's seems very massively busy. And it appears, according to the agents that I spoke with, that the home prices there have skyrocketed a bit. And it's a competitive market. Whereas in East Tennessee, we still have quite a bit of land. We don't have as many high rises just yet. So you get a little bit larger lot, a little bit more affordable housing compared to Nashville, and this lower overall cost of living. And of course, in both areas, there's no state income tax, but property affordability is a little bit lower in East Tennessee, especially with property taxes. Of course, that's going to vary in what county or what city that you're in. We kind of already talked about the scenery and outdoors. Nashville, again, closer to the plateau. They tend to get a little bit more, I don't wanna say severe weather, that's not accurate, but I know in the winter, they seem to get more precipitation than we do here in East Tennessee. However, we often shut down longer, in East Tennessee because of our curves and rolling hills and steep driveways and things, so that kinda balances out. Now traffic. To me, traffic in Knoxville can drive me crazy because we have Interstate 75, Interstate 40. We've got some go arounds with Interstate 640, Interstate 275, Interstate I-140. But if you've ever traveled to Nashville, you would think, "Oh, holy moly, going through Knoxville is a breeze compared to Nashville." Nashville tends to have a little bit more congestion on their highways. They have some urban sprawl a little bit more even than here in Knoxville. Um, East Tennessee, a little bit easier commutes. Now, again, you've heard me talk about city miles versus county miles. We have more of the country miles, so even if it's a 5-mile distance, it might take you longer to get there than it would 5 miles in Nashville. But then again, 5 miles in Nashville, you may have 25 red lights. I don't know. But there tends to be a little bit less congestion on the interstates. Both areas are still very connected to major highways. Nashville is more entertainment focused. They have some wonderful shops. They've got wonderful music. They've got wonderful parks as far as amusement parks. It's a transient vibe, concerts, events, all kinds of wonderful things that get brought into Nashville. East Tennessee, we don't get quite as much. We do have Thompson Bowling Arena, which is on the University of Tennessee campus, that will often bring in some concerts and things, but not near as many as Nashville. East Tennessee has local festivals like the Asian Festival or the Ola Festival or the Greek Festival. And I mean, it's football Saturday here. I'm telling you, if you've ever visited East Tennessee, when there's a University of Tennessee home football game, you'll never experience anything like it anywhere else. I can honestly say this. I've lived in Utah. I have been in other states when they've had their big college, University of South Carolina, where they've had a home game. It is nothing like being in Knoxville on a home game day. There's orange everywhere. It's crazy. So go Vols. It's my alma mater, go Vols. But East Tennessee will have more, I would consider more family friendly events, things that all members of the family can go to regardless of age. So if you're torn between Nashville and East Tennessee, it really comes down to lifestyle. Do you want the hustle and bustle of the, fast paced life? Nashville's probably gonna be your area. Or do you prefer the beauty and the affordability of the Smoky Mountains region? If so, East Tennessee is probably gonna be your area. Either way, both areas have something for everyone. And the wonderful thing is, whichever one you choose, you're only maybe 2.5 to 3 hour drive between the other. So if I want to go to Nashville, I got about a 2.5, 3 hour drive, depending on traffic. Or if I live in Nashville and wanted to come to Knoxville, it's about the same way. So here's my question to you. If you were moving today, would you choose the energy of Nashville or the charm of East Tennessee? Let me know in the comments. And if you are a first time viewer, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I try to make weekly videos to educate my YouTube subscribers about real estate here in East Tennessee. And if you are one of my faithful followers, thank you so much. Please comment. Let me know your thoughts. Again, if you were moving today, which region would you choose? The energy of Nashville or the charm of East Tennessee? Until next time.